Hi students. Okay, so quickly, this week's lesson on understanding persuasion. The big picture, what I really want you to understand about persuasion when it comes to academic research, essay writing, is that you want, regardless of your topic or your subject, or really the class that you're writing for, you need to come up with a big argument, which will then translate into your thesis statement. And then you need smaller supporting arguments that fit under an umbrella, which is the thesis statement. So your thesis is a big umbrella, and your smaller arguments are reasons to support the thesis statement. And that, in effect, is kind of the backbone of any persuasive, argumentative essay. And that, right now, is all you really need to know. And your writing assignment is kind of built around just those very simple concepts. Okay, so for instance, something very simple. Okay, so my big argument, or say my thesis statement: cigarettes should be completely banned. Okay, my big umbrella. And then my reasons are my whys or my becauses. Why should that thesis statement be true? Or because number one, reason number one. So because cigarettes should be banned because, number one, there's a strong connection to lung cancer. That's harmful, that's deadly, right? So reason number one. Reason number two, secondhand smoke can be very, very harmful. Okay, reason number two. Reason number three, okay, smoke, right, is nefarious. It's smelly, it's gross, it can get into other people's clothes, it's invasive. Okay, so that's not the most profound thesis statement and reasons to support the thesis statement, but that's just an example. That's understanding persuasion. Really simple. Okay. What I also wanted you to get in mind, just to get you thinking, is also an opposing view. Okay, and we're not going to get into this too much, but start thinking, okay, you have this thesis statement: cigarettes should be banned. But you also have to think about a counter argument against that. And in the PowerPoint lesson, I have like a con list. Okay, why shouldn't cigarettes be banned? Okay, you can think of a counter argument. Or, you can also think of a yes, okay, cigarettes should be banned, but why shouldn't they be? Okay, so you always have to kind of think of just one counter argument or an opposing view, an opposition, an objection, or an objection rebuttal. Like all of those, there's different terminology for that, and we'll get into that a little later, but it all means the same thing. All right, so that's understanding persuasion, and that's it, just in a basic nutshell, and we're going to build on that a little later. Okay, the second thing that I wanted you to start thinking about is summary, paraphrase, and quotation. And that comes in when we have information, when we take information from a source. Okay, so we summarize when we take a large piece of information from a source. Okay, so when we take, we summarize, so we take a source. So say we take a full, like an academic article, or even like we're going to summarize a book, or we're going to summarize an entire article in just a little paragraph. Okay, that's summary. Paraphrase is when we take a smaller piece of information from a source. So Paraphrase is when we take, just say, like a couple of sentences from a book or an article, okay? But whether we summarize or paraphrase, we're using our own words, okay, to describe what that source says. It's all in our own words. So we're taking the source's ideas and we're explaining it in our own words, all right? And it's important because even though we're using our own words, we have to give credit to that source. And we do that by including what's called an in-text citation. And usually what that is it's just using the author's last name in parentheses at the end of every sentence, where we use our own words to describe what the source is saying, okay? We'll get into this more, but just know, and this is how we prevent from plagiarism, just know that even though we use our own words to describe what a source is saying, we still have to give credit to that source by providing what's called an in-text citation at the end of every sentence where we summarize or we paraphrase a source and what it's saying, okay? Summary and paraphrase. Now, so say if we quote from a source, and that's where we directly use the exact words that the source uses. We have to use the quotation marks. And then that's the direct words, right? Quotation marks, and then we include the in-text citation at the end of the direct quotation. All right? That's the difference. Okay, so also when we paraphrase, summarize, or quote, okay, we include the in-text citation depending on what we do, and then we also have to include what's called a works cited. Okay, so when we use a source, whether we paraphrase, summarize, or quote, we include the in-text citations, and then we also have to include the source's works cited. Okay, we're going to get more and more into that, but just know you always have to give credit to a source. Okay, always have to give credit to the source. So that's our lesson for this week. You guys have a wonderful week, and we will meet again in cyberspace soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.